Praise Property Consult Fabakugu mukugula n'okutunda ettaka. Tulina ettaka ku nguudo zonna ezifuluma ekibuga nga Bwakiso-Gobero, Kachiri, Nampunge, Nkowe, Entebbe Sisa, etunudde mu nnyanja Victoria, Bombo Road Matuga, Mitiyana Road, Buloba, Bujuuko, Kitalya, Masaka Road, Nsangi, Katende, n'Empigi. Puloti zaffe zonna za ssente ensaamusaamu okutandika ku $1,000,000 nga bw'ogula ecapa ku meeza. Praise Property Consult tutunda n'okugula mayumba. Tupunta ettaka okukolera ku biwandiiko n'ebyapa. Tulina abakugu mu ttaka ku namba y'essimu 07 06 14 7 06 ne 0783 82 19 18. Yeffe Praise Property Consult.
Created in a different way to find yourself and speak of a message that is you know, in the moment, right? So I want you to describe what Break the Chain is and what moment are we getting from you right now as BEBE COOL?
Well, Break the Chain is an album that we came up with, a title that I thought we wanted a title that would make a difference in everyone's life. It's not just the music or the body of words, but this was an album that should appeal to everyone, a title that should appeal to everyone. Today in Africa or in the rest of the world, there's a problem of the faint, wrong mindset, where people are limited, where people are suffering from mental health issues that are coming from the fact that they're limited in their thinking. They're limited, humans are being limited in their thinking because they feel that once you have a dream, you go to school, you want to be a doctor, and then yes, you get your degree, and once you get it, and you start going into your new life of getting a job. First of all, you hustle to get a job, and then you start thinking, where am I hustling to get a job? I did a degree in medicine. And then when you get one, that's when you realize that the pay is not enough to handle or to sustain your lifestyle. And so many people are dropping off and getting disappointed and stuff like that. But all people are scared to try something else because you need a result. Most people will go do the same thing over and over, expecting the same result. I've done music for over 28 to 30 years. And it's been the same BEBE. And I've seen so many artists come, and many have gone global, and some have dropped off. But there's a way I have been in East Africa and Africa and not, completely different. But it's not just BEBE, it's East African artists. I mean, we in East Africa were way too big, like 15, 20 years ago. I mean, we dominated the awards in South Africa, we won them. East African Bash, for example, we won. We made the best song, best videos. We were nominated in Kora Awards, Channel, we went to Nigeria, we were nominated. So all that, we should have just excelled from that moment. I did one of the biggest concerts, if not the biggest concert ever in the world. It was held in the UK. That was the late Nelson Mandela's birthday, 90th birthday. This is one concert that had the Queen and all the big stars all over the world. I mean, I was called on stage by was it Will Smith? I was Jada Pinkett backstage, rubbing shoulders. BEBE should have gone from there to the rest of the world. But what happened to the East African artists with the towel in, became comfortable, and our brothers in Nigeria just kept on pushing.
Right.
So for me, I feel this Break the Chain should appeal to each and every artist in East Africa who has been there before, who has done music, and they feel that, things are not working for me, I need, I'm done, this and that. Not only music. If you feel your marriage is not working, if you're a guy and you've been beating your wife every now and then, maybe she's not doing what you want her to do because you're beating. Try the other way around. How about if you come from work and just give her a hug? Maybe she will do that thing, she'll feel different. So you have to break this chain of that mentality that you expect a different result, yet you're doing the same thing over and over. So that's what Break the Chain means.
And I mean, that is so deep because over the time I've also also interviewed a couple of artists, and they've done amazing things in their careers. But we seem to say internationally, I have, or in this chapter of my life, I was able to speak to be in the same platform as so and so. But it seems that it does not translate to more, right?
Yes.
So what have you done to make sure that you do not lose whatever you get in this moment? You see, like right now,
Yes.
you're doing all these media rounds, and you're so potent. And there's something that when you go back and do to Rwanda, I believe, later on in time, you'll meet amazing people doing amazing things. So what are you doing to ground yourself so that you do not lose the essence of what you're gathering as you go in the moment?
Well, as BEBE, I am a bit, you know, I'm so patriotic. I love Africa, I love the togetherness that is coming up, the realization that we need to believe in ourselves as Africans. We need to combine them, most especially the East African, region.
Yeah.
So my purpose, because I've been around a lot of politics in Uganda, and I know what is best for the people of my country, and of course the people of East Africa, the togetherness. I try so much to make sure that everything I do has a purpose for the people. It's not going to be only the music. It definitely has to translate into my music, the impact on the people. So I only stick to what makes sense to the people. What I know for sure, even if the fans have not understood it, but I know it will make an impact. I know I'm on this TV show. I mean, it's 8 in the morning. I would. It's the last thing I would have expected to be on TV. So when the program was given to me, I'm like, there's a entertainment TV show in Nairobi at 8 in the morning. Imagine, for sure as an artist you're working the whole night, but then you have to be up in the morning and so the purpose of that also teaches artists that as much as you're working in the night, you should be ready by 8 o'clock in the morning. Do daytime chores, let the public learn, let those who are not working learn something from you. So to me, it's to make sure the things I do keep my purpose online.
I love that. And also keeping your fan base activated and they grow with you. Some of us from when we were in high school, we were listening, we are fans. I was even telling you, when I was doing my A-levels in Cambodia, I was so sure you couldn't perform in school, but you told me that you didn't. And there's this legendary feel, like when you remember the time artists like you were rocking it, and you're still doing it right now.
Yeah.
So how do you grow and accommodate your fan base, but still tell them, listen, I'm not here, this is where we're going?
Yes.
Sometimes artists fear that they will lose a section, but how do you do it?
I mean, the business we're doing is, music is business. First priority, you have to understand, what are you doing? Is it business or for fun? So because it's business, every business needs a marketing strategy every time there are changes. For example, in Africa, we're having changes of generation. I've been there before in my generation, but I was a youth, a young one, in a generation before. Because when I came to Kenya, for example, the times of Hardstone was a big star, Kalamashaka. That I was a young guy. That was a different generation. I had stuff to pick from that. So I had to make sure that my generation comes in when I have some experience that I have gotten from the likes of Hardstone. So when it was my time, I made sure that I do everything within that time. Now the time has come, there's a Gen Z, Generation Z that has come in. But look at all the companies, they are rebranding. I mean, this is not what this studio used to look like at our times. It was a small room, and now in today's generation, they put the screens and everything. So you as an artist, you also have to evolve. How do you evolve? By accepting that the times are different, because you're looking for the new people who don't know you, who you want that market. I mean, every governments, big companies are all going for the young people. So you'll be crazy as an artist not to look for that. What do they want? How to get them? Do what they expect you to do. Do their music. Today it's all about Afrobeat, Afropop, Afrotech. Put on like they do. Look like they do, get the hair like they do, then they will start to relate with you.
But you're doing it in a way that feels very authentic. Like when I'm looking at you, I'm not seeing, he's just wearing the clothes. The clothes rather are not wearing you. You're wearing the clothes with your chain and your swag and everything. So some people are inauthentic.
Yeah.
They want to appeal to a generation, but they cannot be that.
It's because
So what
they're
is your
fighting
time?
the reality. They're kind of scared. They don't come in old. And then also they still make mistakes of being, if you're an artist from my generation, and the whole group of people you're working with are still in your age. Well, for me as BEBE, I work with 99% young people.
99%.
99. Everyone is half my age.
So how does your creative process look like?
I accepted that they're going to be creative. I only contribute when it comes to actualization, but they come up with the ideas. I give them the freedom. I mean, the young man who came up with, who's running this whole program, is called Washington. He's about 32. I mean, so I said, I'm not going to say anything. You bring the music, you give me the designers, you tell me where to go, how to walk, and everything. Because I don't want to walk like a daddy. And these guys won't understand me. I will walk like them. So it's them who will tell me, Dad, you know what, it's this shoe, it's this, and then this is how you talk. But of course also the exposure has helped me so much.
So did you have to rehearse to walk like, who would do?
Not really. I come from that same world. You remember me?
Yes, I do. That's what I'm saying, like you don't have to rehearse
So
that.
for me it's not been really difficult to evolve.
Yeah.
And then the hardest part is acceptance. Yeah, you accept your times are gone. That stuff is old. Pick up the new stuff. And it takes time. Once you make people get used to you in that new way, then they accept it. So that brings in the problem of most of our people, most of our artists, or not even just in the art. You can see that now. I'll give you an example of medical. We no longer need to cut people, the whole, put scars on people. Now the technology has gone into, little incisions,
yes.
and stuff is done.
Yeah.
So right now, the music is also in incision action. A few things here and there change and accept.
And you're good to go. We also need to highlight the album and the songs on there. I told you one of my favorite songs, and I listened to it a lot yesterday, was Home. And I was telling you earlier that Home was making me feel like I am nostalgic for a place that I don't even know is where.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's very real and very and you sound emotional on it.
Yeah.
Why do you sound like you're feeling and thinking through a lot while you're singing Home?
Home, that song was actually the most emotional song for me, because when I went to record it in Nigeria, along the way, when I landed like this, my daughter was taken into, I left her in hospital, but her situation became worse. And as I landed, she was put on oxygen because she had an issue in her lungs that we did not know. We were treating something totally different. So as I landed like this, put on my phone, I saw the messages, the videos, and I'm like, I need to cancel this whole trip. I need to go back. There was no flight return home. I couldn't talk, I couldn't read, I couldn't sing. It was useless because I had gone to, we had prepared this whole trip, a team of about 9 people. We were going to stay in Nigeria for 3 weeks, recording everything. So, but I managed to make a few calls and then had several doctors get into the hospital. And she was having multiple organ failure. Things were happening so fast. So when they came in, they put her life in line. They started making orders, who comes first, who drinks what first, and stuff like that.
Different doctors, right?
Yeah, different doctors. And then after 9 hours, she started to respond. So now I accepted to stay, and that's the first song I accepted to record at that time. So the emotion was coming from, I kept on tearing, but again doing the music. Now, Home is a person. Now, the meaning of the word home on that album is simply to reflect every person in life. You have that person you call home. If you have a home and there's a telephone, there must be a person you call at home. But in the actual sense, it's not just the home. It's that person who is called home. Because all the time when you're in trouble, all the time when you're in challenge, you're having challenges, or when you're happy, it's that person you call. It can be your mama, it can be your father, it can be your best friend, the person you indulge in, everything you do. So that person is called home, and everybody deserves or needs to have a person called home.
I see, that's amazing, and I'm so happy that she's better now, right?
Oh yeah, she's good now.
And speaking of your children, who among them has that gift
of music?
Yes, and they just flow like you. They want to go where you're going. They want to vibe like you. They want to sing.
Oh yeah, it's been so tough for me to redirect them. I didn't want them to do music because.
Oh, you didn't?
No, but my firstborn Alan does music. Only that he does reggae music. He doesn't seem to be interested in, his other mainstream music and stuff like that. My daughter, that same girl who was sick, she had full interest in music. We had brought her up, singing, playing instruments, but the challenges are found in the music industry. I don't think I don't think I'm comfortable allowing my kids to sing unless if they make the decisions themselves, because it's too much. And you need to be so strong. And then, okay, that's in every career.
Right. Sorry to interrupt you,
yes.
But we will come back with more of that. We need to take a short break right now. We'll be back with legendary BEBE COOL in just a bit. Just stay with us. In general, okay? Remember, you can call in. You can give us your feedback. What do you want BEBE COOL to sing for you? What memories do you have for of him in case you've seen him live in performance? Remember, you have the platform to share with us all that. And remember, our handles on Facebook and X are at K24TV, and our WhatsApp lines are right there on your screen. So call, WhatsApp, and send us your feedback on X and Facebook. The handle is the same, at K24TV. All right, so right before the break, you're telling us about how your kids are into music, but you don't force them.
Yeah.
If they want to do it.
Yeah, because it's a lot more experience, and then my only problem with it is it's okay for them to go through the hustle because it's in everything, but then the luggage of dislike that is on me can easily transpose onto my kids. So it's always safer if they go to any other career where people will not say that they're taking advantage of their father's platform.
Oh, like Nepo babies.
Exactly. So, now the three boys have now finally gone into soccer. And then the girls, I think, are now moved into complete education. So I may not have an artist.
You may not have.
Yes.
But don't say that, right? No. You may just find one of them surprising you. And you just find one of them like, hey, I'm doing music.
That's true.
But let's get back into the body of work.
Yeah.
Break the Chain, the album. You've collaborated with DJ Edu.
Yes.
You've collaborated with Yemi Alade.
Yeah.
And this young, vibrant Ugandan artist. Is it Joshua?
Joshua Barak.
Yes,
Yeah.
Joshua Barak, right? So why them? What flavor do you feel that they brought to the album?
Joshua was all about cross-breeding between my generation and the new generation. I wanted to bring in Joshua into my generation for my older people to understand him and to accept that, we've got new stuff coming in, let's put him in. And then also he's taking me into the Gen Zs, the generation of you guys. So that one as an artist is a marketing strategy, but it's also beautiful to work with a good voice because his voice blended well with my voice. Yemi Alade, definitely the legends, female. She's one, a female. I needed a female artist on the album, an African, number 2, a Nigerian, number 3, and she was also a very simple person to approach, and it's easy to work with Yemi. She's only natural.
She feels like it.
She's just natural. She's always in a good vibe.
Yeah.
So she just made it so easy for me to think the best way. And then DJ Edu is Kenyan, but based in the UK.
Yeah.
DJ Edu has all the opportunities that East African artists are looking for. Now, for me as BEBE, I know for sure that we still need such people to proceed and work and get. If we want to open those doors, we're gonna have to work with people who have the keys.
Yeah.
So East African artists need the knowledge from DJ Edu as an original DJ, as a legendary DJ. We know the contacts that we need to unlock so that we can join. I mean, he's been there, he's working with the likes of Adesope, he's working with the likes of all the makers of Afrobeat in the UK.
Right.
So we just have to make use of our present cards. So that's why he had to be on the album.
I see, and that's really strategic because, like I said, the album has Afropop,
Yes.
Afrotech. Like it's an Afrofusion, an amalgamation of sounds. So you were very sure, intentional
Yes.
when you're putting this together,
Exactly.
right? And I read somewhere where it said it brought you back to your original roots.
That's true.
Yeah, people know you for the reggae vibe, the
Yes.
good vibes
True.
and stuff like that. But why the original roots?
Yeah, because no
How we
matter
get
where
that?
you go, you still need to keep the originality. And once you get where you get, like for example now, us as East African artists, we have joined Afrobeat, Afrotech and stuff like that, to be able to move with what's moving. When you get there, then it's okay to bring back the originality and place it on the table. Never ever drop your originality.
Never ever.
No.
But how do you retain it? You've seen so many people, even internationally.
Yes.
They start and then to now and then you're like, what happened to you? But here there's a semblance, like we can still see you after, like I said, though, 30 years or so.
You have
How do you do
to
that?
you have to have that as a plan.
Yeah.
It has to be in your plan. And as long as you're working with different people, many different people, you have people to help you keep you in line. And it's not easy to, be working with BEBE Cool's team because, I will always say this or say that as an artist. But you have to you have to leave room for those who will check you all the time. When you're falling off the grid, losing certain aspects, they keep you reminded. Like I work with two guys, one is called Bushington, another one Darius. We are fighting every other day.
Really?
Yeah. And then later on I realized sometimes I'm like, if he says that picture is not good, then that picture is not really good.
Yeah.
But I love that picture. I'm the artist, I need that picture.
That's what I feel. It's on my good side.
That picture, my good, I feel it. And then it's like, no, you will not have that picture. I go in the room, I box myself, and then I'm back.
But let me ask you, when it comes to pictorials, and you have quite a few, we've been showing it on air,
Yes.
as we've been having this conversation, I have noted for years, there's a power look that artists have that sometimes the audience may not quite understand. Let me give you an example of Beyonce. There are cute pictures you'll see maybe on her IG or wherever, but then there's the power look with the side part that she'd have when she's doing her live, right? So how do you embrace the part of yourself that you see that power look is there, but you may not entirely be comfortable with that, but it brings out a particular essence that people need. How do you find it?
It's the organic part of an artist that people are interested in now more than the other, like action. So the more people want to relate with you more when you're a bit organic. So you can see that the trend of content now is shifting away from set stuff, prepared stuff, to organic. So the more you look organic, the more you look natural, the more people relate with what you're saying, what you're doing, because they can see the flow. It's natural, it's easy, that's your life, you're not forcing. But social media brought about a lot of fake, stuff. So people can really, someone can just make up a life and put it out there and you just, so now,
Make up a life.
yes, now people are like, I think I like this organic side of you, let me follow this one, you're natural.
Okay. Just also delving deeper into the album, there are very many dope songs, like I but it's wrong to ask an artist their fave song.
Feel free.
Okay. Okay, fine. Which is your fave song? I thought you'd be, because you're sensitive.
Yes.
What's your fave song on there?
I don't have, because this album is so amazing. No, I just have a second song. I don't have a favorite, because every day I keep changing goalposts on which one is the best.
Okay.
But the second song that I love most is Hips on High.
Okay.
Then the third song I love most is Hidden Agendas. Now, this album was prepared in such a way that we made sure that everyone has a component to love about it. You can love instruments, another person can love lyrics, another person can love vibe, another person can love the album title, another person can love the feelings in the music, the voice. So every day there's an opportunity on that album to change goalposts, and that was our deliberate intention.
Like, this is an album that will outlast
Exactly.
a period of time.
Exactly.
So when you feel like you're leaning towards this,
Yes.
when you hear it in a different sound, you will love that other kind of sound.
That's true.
And how long did it take you to, put this all together? Is it months? Is it years? How long?
It took 1.5 years, because we had to include different genres. You can see that it has Afrobeat, Afropop, Afrotech, and a little bit of dancehall. So it took us that period, and we worked with different people from Kenya. It began in Kenya. We went to Uganda. We went to Nigeria. We went to South Africa and the UK. So it's a body of works that was really, really thought out well, and it's out here to encourage and awaken most of our artists that now the ground is level and people are ready to work with anybody at any distance. I mean, we can now work remotely. You don't need a lot. Just reach out to different people. The more people you have on your project, the better. There's been that question about the album, the 16 tracks. Why 16 tracks? I mean, the generation today believes in EPs, 3, 4, 5 songs, and then singles. I'm like, no. We need to go back to the albums. I mean, up to now, the Western world, US, UK, they're doing albums. Why? Exactly. The point is, you have much more content when you do an album. Today the world is about content. If you have one song, you have one content song. You have one video, one behind the scenes, and one song to talk about. But if you have 16, you have 16 videos, you have 16 behind the scenes, you have 16 pictorials, you have everything to go for the next 2 to 3 years. So the more content you have, the more people follow you, because they get entertained and stuff like that.
And it takes a discipline to have all those songs and have accompanying video, accompanying BTS, like what we've been showing our viewers on screen.
That's true.
Like, that takes a particular kind of discipline and patience.
Yes.
Because sometimes also, because of how society is, we are really told that, when you have something, tell it out quickly. Attention span of people is this much and that.
Yes.
So how do you overcome all that fast-paced
Teamwork.
teamwork?
Because as in, it's obvious that you can never do it alone. You can't be 5 and you achieve it. You can't be 10 and you achieve it. You need all people from all corners. So that's why it takes you long a bit. Sometimes it's also the finances, okay? Because most of those things are about financing. But it doesn't mean that if you're young or upcoming artist, you should worry about, if you can't do 16 now, if you're young, you do the EP, okay? But if you're already up here in the professional world, you have to challenge yourself. The companies that can put in money, people are ready to support a serious artist. The most important thing is show your seriousness and your genuinity. And then I believe.
And what helped you grow and maintain your sound? I mean, from what even we saw when you were here 7 years ago with Jason Derulo, and the artist from Tanzania, very Ndela, and it was just an amalgamation of something, and you were in your essence, right? So how do you keep up with the hard work, evolve where you need to, and still stay grounded?
Work is work, I believe. we have to keep working because you don't have an opportunity. I mean, it's only a king in any country that does not work.
Yeah.
So for me, every day I wake up, I need to see a step ahead. Every day I wake up, I need to know that there's something about BEBE COOL, about the music, about...
And you never felt like umefika?
I know, but Nico midway. I set my bar so high from the start.
Yeah.
Because I'm not scared to try things.
So right now, in this moment of time,
Yes.
after 30 years, how does that bar look like? With
I'm
all
halfway.
the experience you have.
Yes, and now I can use the experience to quickly get there. In the beginning, I didn't know what to
That's
do.
sharp, though.
Yes,
Sharp.
that's why I'm encouraging everyone else who thought that it's done time. It is now that the voice is so sweet. It is now that the brain is sharp. It's now that the finances are available. It's now that I have the social capital. It's now that the Kenyans can take sense of what I said. So how dare me go crazy and get into my room and lock up?
Yeah.
It's now to open everything and put everything together on the table and make use of it.
And I think that's where people go wrong, and there's the discouragement, to be honest. We mentioned this in the beginning of the conversation, but they do not believe that they can do any more than they can because of how this experience
The perception from people, oh, you're getting old, all this. I want to speak to my Gen Zs, the new generation. I want to ask them kindly, step back a bit, think about this. A body develops, a brain grows. When you're young, you use a lot of energy in the body. But as you grow, the energy goes down. But God created another system coming in as the energy is coming down. The brain is coming up. The brain becomes stronger in its work as the muscles of the body become weaker. So that's why experience is the best teacher. So when you get experience, then you must get to that time when you start using the experience, and that comes with the brain. So where you used to work so hard with your body, now you apply the brain and less of your body. So make use of the guys who are experienced. They know much. We do know much. I can compete with anybody at a young age without me moving my muscle, just using the mouth and the brain. While them, they are going to compete with me by using their bodies and muscles. And then you find that the guy who has used the brain is way farther. But that combination, that's the Joshua Baraka and BEBE COOL. If we combine, you have something to learn from me to use from my side. And I also have something to use on your side. Then we're going to move faster. So I want that mindset to be deleted from the people. The young need the old need the young. That combination, there's no mess.
It's a good symbiosis.
Yeah.
Going back to when you began your career and you're with the East African Bashment crew. Hey, Necessary Noise, Nazizi, and you guys had an amazing reunion when you're doing the presser.
Yes.
How did that feel before we even go further?
It felt so good because I miss these guys and I know how good they are, and they are the icons that I pray the Kenyan artists should look at. They're still living, they're not affected by drugs, they're not affected by what would affect any young artist. So it's nice to see that we have people to look up to in Kenya. It's nice to see we have people to look up to in Uganda and in Tanzania, because these young sisters and brothers of ours need proof that yes, I think because Nas did ABCD, that's why she's still alive, healthy, and still doing big. You get it? Otherwise, if we don't do that, if they are not there, then our young artists will be lost.
Right. So you have a very deep and big perspective on East Africa.
Yes.
Having founded, the Bashment Group, and now with your vastness, the industry in general, where do you feel the footing of, the industry or the community is heading to right now?
The trajectory had stuck a bit. Talk about Diamond Platinum, who's been alone in Tanzania, pushing, which is good. Now we're happy. I'm very happy that BN is doing that in Kenya.
Yeah.
I'm extremely happy that we have a new generation artist, Joshua Balaka in Uganda, and now BEBE, I'm doing the same. So we need more artists to come up and join so that we can put up a bubble in East Africa. As the bubble is being built politically, okay, for East Africa to be together as a federation, we also should now move back the way it used to be those days where Kenyan artists were all the weekend, every week, interchanging with Ugandan artists, performing over and there, doing collabos, pushing to get each other. If we do that bubble, I believe East Africa will now be felt. It hurts me when I see, of course, Africa, the patriotism of Africa must not be lost. I'm not going to say that we're hitting Nigerians. No, we should keep supporting the Nigerians because they're fellow Africans and they have done a very important stride in the world. I mean, Afrobeat is a fast genre from Africa to take over the world.
Sure.
That should be credit given to them.
The category.
The issue about it is we as East Africans should join and push what they are doing because what they're doing has taken them to the global attention, to the table. I mean, to me that is so crucial. So East Africans creating a bubble to be on the same platform with the Nigerians should be our next step. So I'm encouraging, and the world has changed. Music is about streaming. We need to encourage our East African people to stream East African artists' music. Stream BEBE COOL, stream Joshua Baraka, Saru, stream them, give them the numbers. There's been that argument, oh, Nigeria has 15 million, 20 million people. Now we have 200 million people in Nigeria. Now East Africa together, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, Ethiopia, South Sudan. That's 250 million people. Together, we have the numbers that we need to stream and make our artists global. Before you even go to Europe and the US. So we just need to encourage our fans to stream the music and support the artists.
So what would be your description of Break the Chain, especially for this moment and era that we are staying in right now, or we're not even staying in, we are in, right now, because it's a very definitive aspect. And I like that you said, wherever you are, you keep listening to it, it will keep changing and evolving in different ways, right?
Yes.
So elaborate that.
All in all, I believe East Africa or Africa, we just need to break the chain in sense that we should not stay with that mentality of inferior people, musically.
You think that's how we think?
Yes, because we had submitted him. So we just need to break it and say, you know what, we're good. You know what, our artists are good. You know what, we can make it, we can do it.
All right, and BEBE COOL, before we wind up, right, my colleague Tony here would love to, of course, ask you a thing or two about your legendary music. Tony.
Amazing. He's a legend, he's an icon. BEBE COOL. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
One thing I love about is your pen game, writing.
Okay.
Your pen game is on top. So today I have a gift for you. All right?
Okay.
A pen. Because your pen game is on top. All right?
Thank you.
Now I have a question.
Yes.
What comes in your mind when you remember the year 1997 and 1997? What comes in your mind?
1997.
Where were you?
It's a year when I had to make the most important decision in my life.
All right.
I got done with my Form 6 in Uganda.
Yeah.
There was a concert in Uganda, Buju Banton, and then there was an artist from Kenya called Hardstone who came to perform in Uganda. And when I looked at Hardstone, I saw a superstar.
Oh, yeah.
I nearly thought Hardstone was the one who came from Jamaica.
Not the other way
No,
around.
not the other way around.
Hey.
All right.
So because of
Yeah.
Hardstone, I had to make my decision and say, if this is a Kenyan guy, I'm going to Kenya
Amazing.
because I'll make it. I see this.
Now, let me give you a short story, right? Just the other day, I played the song Motivation to my girlfriend. Right now, she's smiling every time. Yeah. She has been motivated, man.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. I have never been, how do you call it, being starstruck for the first time in my life.
You're starstruck.
Yeah.
Well,
He is a legend, man.
Cool.
Yeah?
I'm proud it's with him.
Yes.
And
Now,
you know what? Before we wind up,
Okay.
I want to give a shout out
Yeah.
to your lady, Zuena.
Oh.
She's here, Zuena. So much
Thank
love
you.
from us and from Kenya, and we see you, we love you, we acknowledge you,
amazing.
and thank you so much.
And you know, Remy, in the beginning of the show, I was just trying to sing that song without soul, but it was hard for me. Can you kindly sing for us a few lines? I know that's one line.
And every party like this,
Okay.
we party till morning comes.
Okay.
And every party like this, so we party till morning comes.
Hey, amazing. More coffee.
God bless you, Godspeed, and congratulations once again.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
and
much.
Thank you for hosting me.
Anytime.
You're welcome.
Keep
There you
the
have
business.
it. There you have it. Legendary BEBE COOL there, talking about break the chain. You've had it straight from him. East Africa, be confident, do your thing. If it's in the
Support
game,
BEBE COOL.
I'm telling you. Stream his album. It's
Stream the new
everywhere.
album.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The studio has never been full like this. For the first time, it's full. Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for coming through. We appreciate it.